Hi guys, today's video I'm going to show you how to create role and permission module with Laravel, and we are going to use React as a starter kit because several user has requested to me create a video on role and permission with React starter kit. So let's get started. Before started, I want to show you the demo how it looks at the end. So let me go to my screen and you can see that I'm logging as a super admin and I can access the users and role module that I have already created. So now first of all I will create a new role. So let me go here and I will give the name is manager, and I will give just permission role view, okay, and user view. Only that's two permission I'm going to give to as a manager. And now click on submit. You can see that it's created new manager role. Now let me go to the users and click on create. I will create a new user called test user, okay, and test1@gmail.com, and let me add the password and I will assign manager role from the list, okay, and click on submit. Now you can see that that's user is created. Now let me open the new window. So let me go and log in, click on login, okay, and use that email and just 123456 as a password and click on login. You can see that I have a users and role both permission, and if I click on users you can see that I cannot see the edit, view and the create button from the user. Same thing if I click on role, you can see that I don't have a permission. Let me go to the users, okay, and go to the roles and click on edit. I want to give permission for create user, okay, and let's see if I click on submit and if I refresh you can see that now it's enabled this button. Same thing if I go for roles, but right now I don't have a permission for create, and if I try to directly from the URL you can see that user does not have the right permissions. So that means this is the basic setup of a role and permissions module. So you can see that and it is working perfectly fine. Same thing we are going to do from the scratch. Before start from the scratch, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, then subscribe my channel for more videos about Laravel. So let me close this window and yeah, let me close this as well. So let me clear it and go back, and I will start with Laravel command, Laravel new, and it is asking for the project name. I will give just Laravel React SEL and hit enter, and it is asking for which starter kit you want to install. I want to install React and keep using default authentication system and paste as a testing framework. Okay, so let's wait a moment to download fresh Laravel application with React starter kit. It is also asking for npm install. I will say yes, I want to install the npm and build it as well. So let's wait a moment to do this. Yes, great. Now our application is ready. Let me go to Laravel React SEL, okay, and let me clear it and let me open this project to my VS Code editor. So I will just say code dot, and you can see that it's open VS Code editor. Okay, so first of all I will configure the database. So let me go here. By default using SQLite, I'm going to use MySQL. So let me uncomment it and say here MySQL like this, and database is Laravel underscore React SEL that I already created. Username is root and password is root. Now let me rerun the migration. So php artisan migrate. Okay, you can see that migration run. Let me go to table plus and hit refresh over here. You can see that all the tables are created over here. Okay, now let me run the application. So let me clear and php artisan sir, and now go to the browser and let me close this localhost 8000, and if I click on register you can see that proper starter kit installed with the React. And let me use the fact filler and create the account. Okay, so you can see that there is a beautiful dashboard is installed over here. And let me go to the VS Code, and you can see over here, let me close this. Okay, and go to the resources and hooks and components, all the things implemented with the React. So you can see over here with the dashboard and all. Okay, so first step, what I'm going to do is I will create a new module called users, and we will do the insert update delete for that, for the starting phase. Okay, so let me go and create a new controller. So let me open new window, PHP artisan Mac controller, user controller, resource controller I'm going to create because we are doing CRUD operation for that. So okay, so let me go here and go to the routes, and here I'm going to say route core resource, and I will say users, and then I will use user controller class. So that means we have created a resource route for users. Okay, you can see that. And now first thing, I want to add in the sidebar that link as well. So let me go here and go to the components, and here if I go to the app sidebar, there is a list of given the menu. Right now we have a just a dashboard menu, but I'm going to add a new menu called users. So just copy this, paste it, and instead of dashboard I will say just user and users. Cool, right? And I want to also go here, and if I refresh it, it's happened nothing. Yeah, resource spelling is mistake over here. So resource controller, save it. Okay, now it's cool. Okay, yeah, you can see that, but it's not added over here because we need to run npm dev command. So npm run dev and hit enter, and now let me refresh it. Still not added. So let me go what happens to over here as a sidebar, save it. Now bar item, yeah, now it's added. So this is perfectly fine, but you can see that the icon is still showing the dashboard icon. So you can change the icon because Laravel using Lucid React icon. So let me go to that website, official website of Lucid React. Go here, icons, and just say users. Okay, and I will pick up this one, copy this, paste it over here. Okay, and you don't have to do anything, just copy paste, and you need to import it as well, save it. Okay, and now let me go here into the browser. You can see if I refresh, you can see that users icon. Now if I click on it, that should be a users page display. So let me go here because we already created resource route. So let me go to the controller, users controller, and here I will return, and I will use the inertia. So because Laravel by default using inertia plus React, so colon render, and here I will create users folder, and inside that I'm going to create index method. Okay, and I will also pass the users list. So I will take the users from the user model, so all. Okay, and users, I don't want to declare the variable and all, just do like this way. So this is keep simple, yeah, and at the end semicolon, save it. Okay, so we have to create now users folder. Inside the users folder I need to create the index method. So go to the JS, and let me go to the pages folder, and here you need to create users folder. Okay, and then you need to create index method, index.tsx. Okay, hit enter. Now you can see that index.tsx file created. Now we already have a dashboard file, so I will just copy that dashboard file and just paste it over here, and some of the library we don't need for this example. And here I will just say instead of dashboard, users, and then breadcrumb as well, title will be users, and remove this entire div. And also instead of dashboard class I will just say index because it's index, save it. And let's see, and if I click on users, you can see that right now we have a blank page over here. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, I will create table. Okay, so I'm going to create a table using Tailwind CSS, and I will use my custom snippet so we can speed up the video. So T table, okay, TW table, and hit enter. You can see that proper design it's created over here, okay, and it's written on plain Tailwind CSS. So I'm going to use, instead of class, I will use class name. So just Control D and just say name, save it, okay, and this is perfect. Now let me go. You can see that there is a beautiful table over here. I will also give here, that's called class name, and class name I will use p3, save it. You can see that more space over here, and there is a beautiful table created over here, okay, with the title, body. So we have name of user and email. For now I want to display, okay, save it, okay, this is perfect, name and email. Now what I'm going to do, because we already passed the users list, so I can get the users over here like this way. So just you need to do like this way, because Inertia.js provide very easy way to do access the users list, okay. So let me go here, and here I'm going to use users.map, and then I'm going to use here from the list ID, I will use name and then email, okay, and I will close this over here, just save it. And here instead of ID I will use the ID variable, okay, save it. And let's see, you can see that there is a one. Same thing I need to do for name, and same thing I need to do for email. That's fine, okay, save it. And you can see that name, email is working perfectly fine. So now we have a list of users over here, save it, this is perfect, okay. Now first thing, I'm going to create new button over here, that's called create, and it should be redirect to the create page where we can create the user. So let me go here and copy this design first, okay, and just paste it over here. Instead of add it, I will just say create, save it, okay. Yeah, button is very bigger, so let me do inside the div maybe. Cool, right? And class, maybe I can do like this way. So just copy this, and inside this maybe it will work. Yeah, perfectly fine. Now let me remove this, okay, and here I will say margin top from 3, okay. Yeah, good. Now we have a create button, but you can see that it's a button, we need to add the link. So Inertia.js already provide the link attribute, so I will use just link, copy this. Instead of button I'm going to use link, and here I just need to pass href. So here we created the resource route, so I can use route colon users dot create, okay, save it. And now you can see over here users slash create. So the path is fine. If I click on it right now, it's nothing, because we haven't done anything over here in the create method. So same thing, return inertia colon render, and then I'm going to just say users slash create, save it. So now inside the users folder I need to create a new file called create. So create.tsx, hit enter. I will again copy the page of index and paste it, and instead of user create, I will add the title, and then I will remove this as the argument we are taking. So what we need to do, just say create and save it, okay. And I'm also going to remove this form, okay, like sorry, this table. So remove this, and instead of create I will use pack and users dot index, okay, cool. And title will be user create, save it. And now if I click on create, you can see that now we have a blank page user create over here, okay. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I will create a new form using Tailwind CSS. So what I'm going to do, t form, I have already created snippet for this, so we can speed up the video, hit enter. You can see that there is a plain blank form over here, okay, save it. And if I go, there is a name, and name field is required. So now I'm going to create like a form using React. So you can see that with just a label input and error message, and there is a submit button, okay. You can also watch my video that I already captured how to create a custom snippet in VS Code editor, okay. So this is simple. Now what I'm going to use, I will use the form. So here I will just say use form, save it, and then I'm going to just say const. This is the form of Inertia.js. So data and set data variable, and then you can see there is a errors, and we are going to use the post method. So this is the predefined syntax of Inertia. So form, use form, and then we are going to create the field of the our form. So right now we have just name, and yeah, save it. Okay, so you can see that this is the basic form we initialize over here with the data, set data, errors, and post. So that means when we are fire the post request, when it returns with the error, then I can receive the data on errors. And set data, that means I can set it to the name, and also I can access the variable from like access the data from the data object. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, input I will as value, and then data dot name. Okay, and then on change I will assign this to e and set data. So first argument I need to pass is over here call name. Let me do in single quote name, and then from the e I will get the target dot value. This cool, right? So now you can see that we have defined the value from data dot name, and then on change event we are going to assign this value to the name variable. Okay, and then what I'm going to do the next is on submit method. Okay, and I will call submit method. Okay, save it. Okay, and I will create a new function call submit over here, and it will take e dot prevent default, so it's not going to refresh the page. Okay, and then I'm going to directly use post method because we already defined over here is the post. Okay, and then I will define directly, I can use the route from the Inertia.js, and route is we already created users dot store, and just save it. Okay, so this is perfect. Okay, now you need to go to the user controller, and here inside the controller I will just add the validation. So request validate, and right now I will just say name required, save it. Okay, and now next what we need to do, because right now by default it's print like name failed as required, but it should be only happens when we receive the error. So what I am going to do, errors dot name, then it should be display this message. Okay, and the message will come from the errors object. Okay, so let me go here and just do like this way, save it. Okay, now let me go, and you can see that enter your name and click on submit. You can see that name field is required, so that means our validation is working perfectly fine. Now let me do the same thing for email. So I will take another field over here and copy paste. Instead of name I will just say email column, id will be email as well, and I will define new column over here call email. Cool. Okay, and then here I will just say email, and name will be email as well, and enter your email, save it, and email. Okay, same thing, I'm going to add the password field too. So I will take another password, save it. Okay, and I will copy again this, and yeah, type also I will define as a email. Okay, for the email, and for the password I need to define password. So here just say password, label will be password. Okay, password, and let me change it quickly. So name is the password, enter your password. Cool, right? And type also will be password, save it. Okay, you can see that now we have a ready form, name, email and password. I'm not going to use the confirm password because we are going like simple example for now, so that's the reason, but you can add it if you want. Okay, save it, and same thing, let me go to the controller. Here I will just say email required and password is also required. Save it and click on, let me remove this, click on submit. You can see that validation is working fine. Now if validation is working fine, then we need to create the user. So how can we create user colon create, and then I will get only from the request, and I will get the name and email. Okay, and then I will use the plus sign because we cannot store the password, plain password. We need to hash map the password. So what I'm going to do, password hash colon mac dollar request password. Okay, after create, it should be redirect return to route and users dot index. That's cool. Okay, save it, and now let's see, hit refresh. You can see if I use the fact filler, you can see that we have a name and email, and if I click on submit, now you can see that user is created. So that means our create page is ready. Okay, now I'm going to do for the edit. So let me go here, and same thing for the link I'm going to use for edit. So just remove the button link, and here again I'm going to use href. Okay, and I will use the route because we already have created resource route, so I can easily access that. Okay, not like this way, users dot edit, and I will pass the id, save it, and if I hover over on it, so you can see that users/2/edit. So this is perfectly fine. Now what I'm going to do next, if I go here into the edit, first I will get the user from the user object, find $id. Okay, and then return inertia colon render user/edit, and I will pass the user $user. Save it. Okay, now I need to create new file called edit. So let me go here, and that's called edit.tsx. Okay, and I will same thing, I will copy again the same file of create. So because we have ready form and all the things, so we don't have to worry this about. So save it. Instead of user create, I will just make it user edit. Okay, and the rest I will say edit here, save it, and rest for now I want to keep the same. Okay, let me go here, and if I go and click just edit, you can see that we have a form, but we don't have a fill automatic the name, email over there. Okay, so how can we do this? Because we go to the edit here, also I'm going to change edit the class. We already passed the data from here like this way. You can see that user I can access with the inertia like this way. So let me go here, that's called user, and here what I'm going to do, user.name, if there is no, then you can see the empty users.email, save it. Okay, and if I go here and just refresh it, you can see that now autofillable the name and email. This is working perfectly fine. Okay, now what the next thing I need to change it, because we are going to use post for create, but for update we are using put method, and here we need to use the put method, and route will be update. Then I will pass the user.id as an argument, save it. Okay, just that you need to do. Now let me go to the update method, and I will use the validation. So copy this from the create, paste it. Password is not required, it's optional. So now I need to find user again from the id. So user colon find id $user name equal to request name. Okay, same thing I will do from the email, email, save it. Okay, and then if there is a password, for example, I will go here and just say if $request password, then it should be updated. If not, then we don't have to do anything. So user password hash : mac request password. Okay, and not semicolon. So at the end we just need to use the save method to save, and if everything fine, then we need to just return to_route users dot index, save it. Okay, and yeah, semicolon here we need to add, save it. Okay, and now if I go and just edit this and click on submit, now you can see that this record name is updated over here. So this is cool for the edit as well. Okay, now I will add another button over here that's called view, because we are going to add the permission for the view as well. So let me go here and add the new button over here. So let me go and copy this link, paste it over here. Okay, and instead of edit, I'm going to just say users dot show. Okay, and I will also change the button color. So instead of blue, I will use gray, save it. And you can see that edit, and let me go here and I will just say margin right 2 pixel and save it. Yeah, 2 pixel is just keep 1 pixel because it's lot of space. Now you can see that instead of edit, I will just say show or view button, whatever you can say, just show. And now if I click on it, okay, you can see that it's also showing on the hover over users/1. So that means we need to create a new method over here. We already created show method, so return inertia : render, and I will create users/show. Okay, and then I will pass the user object, so user, and that's called user : find, and I will find from the ID. Okay, save it. This is cool. Okay, and now let me create a new file over here, new file, and that's called show.tsx. Hit enter. You can see that now we have a file. I will just go to the edit and copy this file and just paste it over here, and let me change quickly. So user show, and we are already getting the users. We don't require this form anymore for this. Just remove this user show, and also back button we will keep, but let me remove this entire form. Same thing, I will keep the div and p tag, and here I'm going to use strong name, and I will use user.name from the object, and then email, and here I will just say save it. And now let me go and click on show. You can see that name and email. Right now we will keep the simple this page because we can add the permission, and let's see the progress. Okay, so you can see this is for show, and go back. So now we have a ready for create, show, and edit. Next we need to do for the delete. So let me go here and I go to the list. Okay, so let me close this and close this edit, close this create as well. Okay, and now let me go to the index, and here I will create, because we need to keep this button, we cannot open in the link. So on click, I will create new method handle delete, and into the bracket I'm going to pass the ID. Okay, so save it. Okay, and now let me create a new method over here. Okay, so handle delete. So let me create this function handle delete, and as argument we are getting the ID. Okay, and first of all I am going to ask a confirmation box. So if confirm, are you sure you want to remove this, just like this way. And if say yes, I want to remove this, then I'm going to use the Inertia.js router to call directly delete method. So router, and just save it. Okay, router dot delete method. Okay, and we need to pass the route, okay, over here, because we already created users dot destroy. Okay, and as an argument I need to pass as a ID and just save it. Okay, and now let me go to the users, go to the destroy, and first let's debug it. Okay, so just ID, save it. Okay, and if I click on delete, you can see that, are you sure you want to remove this? Yes, and it's doing nothing because let me go here, maybe there is a problem. So yeah, destroy is not defined on the list, so let me go here, maybe the spelling mistake or something. Yes, save it. Okay, and now let me go and refresh it and click on delete, click on OK. You can see that now I am able to get the ID. Okay, so that means I can find the user and destroy it over here. Okay, so what I will do, just user colon destroy with the ID and then return to route users dot index, save it. Okay, and now if I go here and click on delete, and if I see yes, you can see that record is deleted as well. That's great. So we have a ready CRUD operation for the users module. Next we are going to install the Laravel Spatie for role and permissions. So let me go here and just Google it. Okay, so I will just say Laravel Spatie role and permission. So let me go here, that is the composer package, they will provide the role and permission management. So let me go and click on installation in Laravel, and you just need to run this command to install the composer package. So copy this, okay, and go here and open in new terminal, and I will just paste it. Okay, and now you can see that it's going to install the official composer package from Spatie. So yeah, let's wait a moment. Yeah, now it's installed, and let me go here. Next step, you need to publish the migrations and the configuration files. So just copy this and just paste it over here, and you can see that they have published the configuration files and migration. So let me go to my VS Code editor. Let me, yeah, and you can see that they have created permissions over here, like related permissions tables, users tables, and model has a permission. So all the tables that related to roles and permission management they have created. So they have created defaults, you want to edit it, that you can customization from the config. So they have already created like permission.php file. Here they have by default permission, like you can see that model configuration, where it coming from, you can see that, and what is the table name, you can customize it and you can change it if you want, but for now we are going to use same as it is, all the things over here. Okay, so now let me go and run the migration, because the next step is run the migration. So just let me clear this, php artisan migrate. Okay, and you can see that it's created migration, and now let me go to the table pass, hit refresh. You can see that they have permission table, roles table, role has a permission, all the tables that we need, that's already created over here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to create is define the fixed permission so we can use it. So I'm going to create seeder for it. So let me go php artisan mac seeder for permission and hit enter. You can see that that's created a new seeder. So go to the seeder and permission. So first of all, I am going to define the permissions over here, list of permissions. So we are going to define the permissions for now, users.view, and same thing users.edit and users.delete, and at the end users.create. So this is for user module. Same thing I want to do for roles. Okay, so I will just say, because we are going to create a new module called roles. So roles.view, roles.edit, and roles.delete, and at the end roles.create. Okay, when you have a like products or categories module, then you can define permission for that as well. Okay, and now just I'm going to use for each. So permissions, okay, and value. Okay, now how can we create the permission? So let me go here into the documentation and basic uses, and you can see that they have already provided how to create the role and create the permission. So let me go here and I will use the permission, and you can see that we are importing the model from them, like because you can see that here just one model, but permission and role model I'm going to use they on. Okay, and just I will use the create name, and then I will take the value, save it. Okay, so that means we have a list of permission now. Okay, and let me run this seeder. So php artisan db :seed permission seeder, hit enter. You can see that permission seeder is on. Let me go to the database and go to the permission. You can see that now we have a list of permission: users view, user edit, user delete, and user create. So that means now we have a ready to permission. Now what the next I'm going to do is I will add new menu over here called roles, and I will create the insert update delete for that. And when you create the role, you can choose the permission as well. So let me create a new resource controller. So php mac controller call role controller and hit enter. You can see that it's created role control over here. And now let me go and go to the routes. I will create resource route for roles as well, role controller, and save it. Okay, so now we have a role. So same thing, I am going to go resource js components and go to the sidebar. First I will add new link over here. So copy this, paste it. Instead of users, I will just say roles. Yeah, and I'm also going to change the icon. So let me go to the Lucid website, and if I search roles, yeah, there is, copy this and paste it. You can use any icon, but I'm going to use notebook icon. Save it. Okay, and let me import it as well and just paste it, save it. Okay, and now let me go here, and if I refresh, you can see that over here, if I refresh, you can see that now we have a proper icon roles. Okay, and if I click on it right now, it's nothing because we haven't do anything yet. Okay, so let me go to the controller now and role controller. Okay, and here return inertia : render. Okay, what we does already for the user. So I will create new folder called users index, and I will pass all the roles over here. Roles, role. I will again use Spatie permission models over there, : all. That means it's taking from the Spatie permission models role. Okay, it's not our custom model. Okay, so just at the end semicolon, save it. I will create new folder called roles. Okay, inside the roles, I'm going to create the index file. Okay, index.tsx. Okay, hit enter. Now let me go to the users, and I will copy entire file because same thing we need to do over here. So just paste it over here. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let me close this file so it's not going to confuse us. Okay, and here first of all, what I'm going to do, instead of users, I will just say roles, and also we pass roles, and yeah, this is all. And for the delete also, I'm going to change roles and roles. Okay, and also for the create, I will say roles.create. And for the users, because we have changed the variable over here called roles. Okay, and we are just getting the name from the roles for now. So delete and just save it. Okay, and remove the email for now as well. Okay, so just remove this. So instead of users, I will just change the name. Okay, roles. Yeah, this is cool. Save it. Okay, now let me go here and click on the roles. You can see that now proper we have a display the tables, but right now we don't have any role. You can see over here. Okay, because we haven't created it. Now if I click on create, it should be call a new file, and where I can give the name of role and choose the permission. So let me go here and go to the role, return inertia : render roles/create, save it. Okay, now let me create a new method called create inside the role. So create tsx. Good. Okay, so now let me copy again the same for the users. So just copy and paste over here, and let me close this file so it's not going to confuse us. Save it. And instead of user create, I will just say role create and here also roles. Okay, and we just have taking the name, so remove this. Okay, and just keep, and here also I'm going to say roles.store because we already created resource route, and here also I will say role create. Okay, this is cool. And we don't require email and we don't require password as well, so remove this, save it. And now if I go here and click on create, you can see that we have a basic form over here with the name. So let me change the placeholder over here, like just enter name. That's good, right? Yeah. Now what I'm going to do the next is, here I will list of the permission display. So what I need to do, just copy this, and I will also remove this one. Okay, from the name I will just say permissions. Okay, and I will take the permission. I will create a new data variable over here called permission colon array. Okay, because they can select the multiple permissions over here. Okay, and then I am going to use t checkbox. I have created custom snippet, so you can see that there is a simple design. So just go here and see, you can see that there is admin. Now I want to display a list of all permissions. Right now it just say admin because I have just created a Tailwind CSS design. Okay, so now let me go to the roles and I will get all the permissions from there first. Okay, so I will pass permissions. Okay, and all the permission. Okay, so permissions model. Okay, colon all, and just save it. Okay, cool. And now let me go here into the create. Here I will get like this way permissions. Okay, and the next what I'm going to do, permission dot map, and then I will get permission like this way. Okay, and yeah, Control X and just paste it over here, save it. Okay, and if I go here, you can see that now admin, but I can change the name over here. That's cool. And you can see that right now we have entire object, so that's the reason, because we use directly all. So I will use pluck method and just get the name because we just required the name. So save it, and if I go, you can see that roles.create, roles.delete, roles.edit, and roles.view set. That means really great over there. Okay, yeah, so this is very good. Okay, and now what we need to do, just I will change the key as well. So that's called permission. Okay, because this is the name. Okay, and then I will also define the value over here, and value will be the permission because it's a checkbox, so that when you choose it, then I can store into the permissions variable. So for when you choose it, like for example, if I go here and if I choose it, this one, okay, that means you need to, you know, store in some other variable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will also define the ID, and that's called permission. Cool, right? Save it. I don't know why it's double. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so when I change, okay, so that means when I check this, I need to store this check to the permissions variable that we already declare over here. Okay, so that way I can access on the store method. Okay, because if I go to the roles and go to the store and just debug it, request all, save it, and if I just add the name and I will check this and click on submit, I can receive just name, not permission, because we need to put it, you know, because we already does name on change. Same thing, I will copy this method and just paste it, but I'm not going to directly call this set data. So what I'm going to do, because we have an array, if we have a simple, then we can call easily, but for now I'm going to use new function that's called handle checkbox change method. Okay, and first argument I am going to pass the permission, and second argument I am going to pass is checked or unchecked. Okay, so e.target dot checked, save. Okay, and now let me create a new method over here that's called check function check, and here I will get the permission name, and then second argument is checked. Okay, cool. Okay, and now I will check it. If checkbox is checked, that means I need to add it. So how can I add it? Set data, directly I can use it, and I will use the permissions, and then there is a triple dot, and I will use data dot permissions. Okay, and then the second argument I need to add permission name, so that means it will add to that variable. Okay, so else if at the end, let me add the semicolon, save it. This is cool. Okay, now set data. Okay, and if like unchecked, that means I need to filter it, I need to remove it. So how can I do this? Same thing for permission, set data like this way, and then I am going to use data dot permissions dot filter, and then I will add just name equal to name not equal to permission name. Save it. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, now let's see. Okay, if I go here and just refresh it and just given any name and choose and click on submit, you can see that now we have to create like roles.create and roles.delete. So that means we are able to get the easily data of selected permission. So copy this, and next if I go to the roles, I will add the validation first. Request validate, and name will be required, permissions will be required to. Okay, that's cool. And now let me go here, and we already print for the name, but for the permissions I need to, that's already printed. Okay, so that's good. So first I will create the role over here. So I will use the role model, colon create. Same thing, you can go to the documentation over here and they already provided the code. So copy this. Yeah, let me write it down. Okay, so let me go request and just say name. That's cool, right? So now you can see that role is created. Now I also need to synchronize the permission. So let me go to again the documentation, and you can see that role synchronize permissions. So copy this and just paste it over here, and I can access the permission from the request object. That's cool. Okay, and at the end I just need to return to route and roles dot index. That's cool. Okay, and now let's see. If I go and refresh and just say first, and I will just say role create and user create and click on submit, you can see that it's created over here properly the role. Okay, now I also want to display the permissions over here, so let's double check that permission is created or not. Okay, so let me go here into the index. Okay, and I will add new column called permissions, save it. Okay, and then remove this. Okay, and hit enter. Now you can see that we added the permissions, but let me go to the controller and I need to pass the permission like with permissions like this way, so I can access, and at the end I will just say get. Okay, so like this way I can get, and here ID, name, and also I can access the permission, and here I will use T badge because I already created custom snippet for the design, so I don't have to take time on that. So just go here, you can see that one over here. So what I'm going to do, permission dot map, then I'm going to say just name, sorry, ID and name. Okay, something like this way, and then save it, and here I will just say name, save it. If I go here, you can see that just it's a name. I don't know why it's saying like this way. Remove this. Let me directly access the object, so that would be a get. So permission and permission dot name. Okay, save it, And if I go, you can see that users.create and users.roles.create that we already checked. Okay, so this is great. So we display the permissions. Now let me go, and if I click on edit, so that should be a form. We need to open it, and also we can edit it. Okay, so let me go here, and same thing, I will just copy this, and because we already need to pass the permission, so just paste it over here, and instead of create, I will just say edit, save it, and go to the roles, click on it, tsx, okay, and just enter, and I will copy entire create form. Just copy this, add it, and just paste it, and let me quickly change. Okay, instead of role create, I will just say role edit. Okay, and here I will say edit permission we are getting, and this is all as it is. Here you can see that we are using the post method. Now we are going to use the put method over here, and put. Okay, this is great. Okay, and we need to pass, because we also need to pass. Let me go here, find the role, that's important. So let me go role, and also pass the role colon find from the id, save it, and also let me pass is role equal to $role. Cool, right? I can access the role as well from here, so let me remove this, save it. Okay, and then I'll just put it role.id. Okay, and also here I will just say role.name, save it. Okay, this is cool. Now let me go here, and if I click on edit, you can see that now we have a 0. I don't know why it says 0, because the role I have just defined from the id. That's cool. Yeah, because maybe it has, yeah, now it's correct. Okay, because I forgot the pipe sign over there. Okay, so this is great, but you can see that, and now it's not by default selected. That's all the, okay, like we already selected. Okay, so what I need to do here, I will pass another variable that's called use role permission, and then I will get role permissions. Okay, plug and the name. So that means role has a connected that permission I'm going to pass. So save it, and then I'm going to just use that permissions over here. Okay, so save it, and I will add over here like this way, save it. Okay, and if I go here, you can see that still I cannot select it the by default, because I need to do one thing. So let me go here, and just I will say checked equal to, I need to define like this way. Okay, so just data dot permissions dot includes permission, save it. Okay, and now if I go here, you can see that now we have default selected, because they are automatically checked from the permission. If they already selected, that means it will be checked true and false, it returns. Okay, so save it. So that means right now we have a create role and permission selected. Now I will also choose like user delete, user edit, and it should be update as well. Okay, so let me go here and go to the update. First double check if we are getting all the data or not, so debug it. So request, that's very important, so save it. Okay, and just choose it and click on update. Yeah, there is a problem with put method is not supported route roles. Yeah, there is a problem. So let me go here. What is the problem? Put, and here is also put to be added, and it's store we are using. So here also we need to add roles dot update. That's cool, right? Yeah. So now let me refresh it, and I'm going to choose another, click on submit. Yeah, it's doing nothing. Why that is happening? So role parameter is required. Yeah. Now it's perfect. Save it, hit refresh. Let me close this, checked, and click on submit. You can see that now we are also able to get the permissions. Okay, now what I am going to the next is add the again validation, what we are adding for create, and copy paste this entire code from the store. Okay, we are not going to create a new role, but I'm going to find from the id. So role concal find, and here I will just say id. So at the end role name equal to $request name, and role will be save. And same code synchronize the permission from the permission array, save it. Okay, now let me go here and I'm going to add new and just dot dot and click on submit. You can see that new permission added over here, and you can see that with the also updated the name. Okay, so now I am going to do for the show. So when I click on it, it should be display role name and the permission. So let me go and create the view page over there. Okay, go to the index and it's already given the roles.show. So let me go to the controller now and return inertia render roles slash show. Okay, and as an array I'm going to find first role confined, save it, role and $role. And if I go, I will also pass the role permission. So I will just call permissions. Okay, and then I will pass role permission over here. Okay, so just say permissions, and I will use the plug because we just need a name. That's cool. Okay, save. So that means we are going to create new show page, and we have passed the role and permission data. Okay, so let me go and create a new file over here, show.tsx, hit enter and just copy of edit and paste it over here. And let me remove this all because we don't require this form anymore, and we just keep user role and permissions. Instead of role edit, I will just say role show. This is cool. Okay, and yeah, back button is fine, and we don't require this form anymore. Just I will create a new div. Okay, and inside that I'm going to add p strong tag will be the form like a role name. So I will take the role name from the role.name, and then I'm going to display the permission. Permissions. Okay, and then here I'm going to need to loop it. Okay, so let me go here and I will just copy this badge and paste it over here. Okay, permissions.permission, and this is cool. Save it and let me go, and if I click on show, you can see that now we have a permission, but I cannot access the permission. What's the problem? .name. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, cool. So you can see that this is the basic view page, so you can make it proper design if you want. Now let me go back, and we need to do for the delete. So when I click on delete, that role should be deleted. So let me create new role, so test one as well, so I can delete it and show you. Click on submit. You can see that. Now let me go and go to the index. We already copy paste, so handle delete, and it will call roles.destroy, and go to the roles. Here just we need to write the code for role colon destroy from the id, and then return to underscore route called roles.index. Save it. Okay, so now let me go, and if I click on it, it is going to, are you sure you want to remove? Yes, and it's removed. So that means this is really perfect CRUD for the roles. Like you can create the role with the permission. So now I'm going to create a new role that's called admin, and I want to give you all the permission to that admin role. Okay, so let me select and create the some roles. Click, and let me create again for the user, and for the user I just want to give role view and user view, and hit submit. I'm going to create another that's called manager, and they have just create role, view roles, create users, and users view, and hit enter. You can see that now I have created multiple role. Let me remove this test role so it's not going to confuse us. So I'm going to create admin, user, and manager. You can create more roles as well. So next, these roles I'm going to use in users module. Next, let me go to the users, and when I'm going to create, I should have a list of all the created roles, and I can assign that role to the users. Okay, so let me go to my VS Code editor and go to the users, and let me go to the create. Here I'm going to pass all the roles. Okay, so let me go and I will just say roles, and role model colon all. Okay, I will use plug method and pass only the name from the list. Okay, save. Okay, now let me go to the create file. Okay, and here I will receive the all the roles. So let me go and just say roles. Okay, save it. And here I will also define the input, and that's called roles as a empty array. Okay, save. And same thing what we did for the permission. So let me go to the role and copy this entire input. So copy this and go to the user create, and after the password I'm going to just paste it. Okay, so instead of permissions we will call roles. Okay, and here roles, and we are getting the role. Okay, here also it should be say role, and value will be role as well. So we are going to change according to that what we have, role and target, and just say role. And here also I will make it role and roles. Okay, save it. And same thing, we need to copy the handle checkbox change function as well. So copy again for the create and copy this. Okay, and just go to the user create and top of the file. Okay, just paste it over here. Instead of permission name we will get role name over here. Okay, and instead of permissions we will have roles. Okay, so this is cool. Like when check and uncheck, then we can store the role one by one on the array. Save it, and let me go and just debug it. We can receive or not. So request all and save it. And now let me go and just you can see that we have a list of all roles, and I can use the fact filler, and you can see that it selected users. I will also select the manager and click on submit. You can see that I have received the roles. Okay, so now let me go. You can see that after creating we need to synchronize role as well what we did for permission. So let me go here and go to the documentation again. Before the synchronize we need to use has role traits on our user model. So control P user.php and just use this, and has roles we need to use over here. Okay, just save it. Okay, and then if I scroll down and just use directly the permission via role, and you can see that they already given the example user synchronize roles. So copy this, and after create the user I will store in user variable and then just paste it. Instead of static array I will receive the array from request object, and that's called roles. Okay, save it. Okay, now let me go, let me remove this as well. Okay, and yeah, just refresh it, and I will use the fact filler, and I will choose manager and user both. And if I click on submit, you can see that user is created, but I cannot see the roles over here. So let's display that. So let me go here and go to the index. Same thing, inside the roles we display the permission we need to do for user. So go here, and after email I will add another column that's called roles. Okay, and then I'm again go to the user, and here with roles, and I will use again get method. Okay, save it. Okay, and go to the roles index and just copy this tr. Okay, and go to the user index tsx file, paste it over here. Instead of permissions we are getting roles over here, and roles role, and same thing here we will get role.name. Save it. And if I go here you can see that the last user have a user and manager role. So that means our assign and synchronize is working fine perfectly. Okay, now same thing we need to implement for the edit. So when I click on edit, it should be list of all the roles, and before added roles should be selected. Okay, so let me do that one as well. So let me go here, and yeah, let me remove some unused file and go to the user controller. Yeah, we also need to pass the roles. Okay, and then after also I will pass that user has selected roles. So user roles and $user roles, and I will use pluck method, and that's called name. Okay, and at the end I will add the semicolon. Okay, so that means we pass the roles and then user roles, two variables we have passed extra on edit. So let me go to the edit, and here I will just say user roles and roles. That's cool. Okay, so same thing what we implemented for create, we need to use roles over here, and we have to assign user roles over here. Okay, and yeah, save it. Okay, now let me go to the create again and just copy the row what we have in roles for create. Just copy and go to the edit and paste it after the password. Okay, so that's great. Okay, and let me go to the again create. We have a changed function like change checkbox, same as it is, we need to add over there. So let me go here and save it. Okay, yeah, great. Now let me go, and you can see that we have a list of roles, but that's not selected for this user because we already selected manager and user. So same thing we did for permission, we need to do for checked, and that should be data.roles.includes, and we need to check role, save it. Okay, so that means that will check if it's already exists, then it will be true, otherwise false. So now let me go, you can see that now we have a selected manager and user over here properly. Okay, now let me go and double check and debug it. Okay, so we are getting roles or not. Okay, so request all. Okay, save it, and just I will also choose the admin and click on submit. You can see that I can get those three role over here properly. Okay, now let me go. So this is all perfectly fine. After user save, we need to synchronize. Just we don't have to do anything over there, so just user synchronize, and we can get the roles from the request object. Save. I will assign also admin and just click on submit. You can see that admin user manager, edit, and I will just create this. This is good. Okay, so you can see that. Let me create new admin user. So for super admin, so admin at the Gmail I will keep, and as a admin, so just click on, yeah, so this is really great, and you can see that this is the admin. And let me log in because I'm logging as a Matt Huffan. So let me also go to the edit and assign the admin role to them. Okay, so this is really great, and we are easily attach role to the users, and we can attach the multiple roles. Now our basic stuff is done. Now let's see and check. Okay, so I will create a new user and use the fact filler, and I will use test.1. Okay, and just use gmail.com. Okay, and use 123456 as a password, and I will choose the user role because we have just given permission for read. So just click on it. Okay, and now you can see that this is the user Gia, and let me open a new terminal. So localhost, and you can see that if I click on login, let me log into that credential and click on login. And if I go to the users, you can see that now I can see everything. Even I have just permission for, let me go, and user has a just user.view and roles.view. So you can see that I don't have a permission to create, edit, and delete. So that's not great, like that's not working. So let me go here and go to again documentation, and if I go here and go for the blade directive, and you can see that Spatie already provide like @can, but you cannot directly use in React, right? Because it's not blade templating. So what we need to do, we need to create our own can function, and we can use in React. So how can we do? So let me go here and let me go to the provider. Okay, first of all, sorry, middleware, and there is a handle inertia request. If I go here, and first thing is that auth user, they are already passing like this way user. Same thing, we need to pass the permission. So I'm going to pass permissions like this way, and we already have function. Okay, and then you can see, oh sorry, not function, fn just, and then you can see here I will use request user if user, so that means I'm going to use the question mark, and then I will get the all the permissions. Okay, so that already they provided in the documentation, so I will use directly that function get all permissions. Okay, and I will use pluck method and just get the name. Okay, and if there is nothing, then just return the array. Okay, so that means the save. Okay, and let me use this. It's going red line because I forgot to add round bracket over there, and just save it. Okay, so that means we are going to pass the permission to every page. Okay, so just save it. Okay, and now let me go here and go to the lib. So I'm going to create new function over here, new library function that's called can.ts. Okay, and then first of all I will use page, so every page I can easily use. So what I'm going to do, just go to the index. Okay, and I will just copy this line, paste it. Instead of header and all, I am going to use just use page. Okay, not user space, use page. Okay, use page, just save it. Okay, and then export function. Okay, and I will call as a can, and as an argument we are going to pass permission. Okay, as a string over here. Okay, and we will return as a boolean. Okay, so this is really great. Okay, and then I am going to define new variable, const variable, and that will be auth, and here I'm going to use page. Okay, because I can get the variable. Okay, so we already passed the permission props like this way. Okay, and auth, and let me just declare all the permissions and string array. Okay, so that means it will be a array, and let me use the semicolon over here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, because here you can see that it just return type we just define, and here I will be check auth.permission dot includes if permission as a argument. Okay, so you can see that it will check from the list of the permission. We are going to check this permission is exist or not, so it just return true false over here. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, so just save it, and now let me go to user.index page over here, and let me just import. Okay, import, and we just call can from, and I will use @lib/can. Save it. Okay, and now for this create, what should be the permission? Users.create. So here I will just say like this way, can, and I will pass as argument permission name. So I will say users.create, then this link should be enable. Save it. Okay, and now let me go here and go to the example. If I go, let me go over here. Yeah, and if I refresh, it's nothing, so something is wrong over here. Maybe I made a mistake. Use page, maybe like this way. Yeah, save it, and you can see that. So now you can see over here like create buttons gone because you don't have a permission. If I say just like this way, for example, if I just say users.view, because I already have a permission, so you can see that now create button is enabled. So that means our can method is working. So you can ignore @can because that's not work. So like this way you can do. Okay, so here I will define the permission for user. So this is perfectly fine. Same thing I need to define for edit and delete. So go here, and this is for edit, and here for delete, users.delete, and then I will remove the bracket. Okay, you can see that now you only have the permission is for the show. Okay, same thing for the roles. Now I can access all the things, but let me do same thing for a role as well. So copy this line, go here, and just paste it. Okay, and what we done for user, same thing we need to done for role. Okay, so paste it, and we have a permission roles.create and at the end. Okay, save it. Okay, and let me do for edit as well. So just call roles.edit and let me close this condition. Okay, and same thing I need to do roles for delete. Okay, roles.delete, and at the end let me close this, save it, and you can see that now you only have a permission for view. Okay, let me go here and let's double check. Okay, now if I go here for example and go to the user edit, and if I will give the permission to create as well, then if I click submit and go to the users, I can enable this create button. Okay, same thing for the roles. But what if I just type from the URL like roles/create and hit enter? You can see that I can access this page. So that's also not okay, right? Because that way we have an issue with the permission. So how can we fix this as well? Okay, so let me go here and go to again the documentation, and they already provided with the middleware. Okay, so how can we do? So just first we need to define role, permission, and this model, this middleware. So copy this and go to the VS Code editor, bootstrap app. Here I am going to define this all the middleware. Okay, now we need to define this middleware into the route file. Right now we have a separately route file for the resource route, but we need to make it separately. So how can we do this? So I'm going to just say only I will use two methods for create and store, and I will use the middleware. Okay, and how can we use the middleware? So they already given the example below, so you can see that permission. So I will copy this permission colon roles dot create. If you have this permission, then and then you can access these two method. Okay, so copy this roles route. Okay, right now I'm just keep this as it is. Okay, just remove this. Okay, and copy this. So that means this is only for create and store, and this is for all. Okay, so now you can see that it's automatically user does not have the right permission because you don't have. But if you go and just access the roles, you will able to access that. You cannot directly access like this way. So this is roles.create. I think I need to define for all routes, so like this way. So let me do it so that way we can double check. So for edit and update, I will add edit like this way, and this is for edit, and just copy. You can define the separate route, but I will use the resource for now, and destroy for the delete roles dot delete. Okay, same thing, let me copy this for the index and for the show. If you have a view permission, or if you have a permission for create, or if you have a permission for edit, or if you have a permission for delete, you can access this page. Okay, so let me go here, and now you can see that if I refresh, you cannot access this page, but if you go to the roles, you will have access. So you can see that. So this is cool, right? Because you already have permission. Same thing if I go to the users, and right now you have a create permission, but same thing, let me go and remove that permission. So remove the user create, submit, and again I lost the button. But when I go and just say create, hit enter, I can access still this page. But how can we ignore? Same thing I need to define for users routes. Okay, same thing, just copy this. You have a permission for users.create. Okay, copy this, and just paste it user.edit. Same thing again, I will copy this and do it for destroy method only. So just destroy and users.delete. If you have a permission, then you can access. So at the end I will copy again for users.index, and show method only access if you have a users.view or users.create or users.edit or users.delete. Little lengthy process, but you can define like this way. So let me go here, and you can see that you don't have a permission, but if you go and access the users, you will have able to access. So that means this is working perfectly fine like this way. So it's more secure. User cannot directly access from the URL as well. So this is very simple and basic. If you have more modules like product and order and all the things, then you can define more permissions on your middleware, like on your Cedar, like this way. So let me go here and show you database Cedar. Here you can define more permissions over here and you can manage it. So I hope guys you enjoy this video, and if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe my channel and share as well, and share with your friends, and see you in the next video guys. Thank you so much.